I remember coming home one day and I was like, Donnell, I never want to get married. I never want to have a wedding.
You and I took a different approach, and so I can't help but share with others what it is we do, right? But to your point around it being a little bit controversial, it is different.
Might get a little spicy for some people. We did take a different approach. And as a result, some people were not happy with us. And I think,
Still,
right. And I think that it's okay that they're not happy. I understand why they are upset.
again, we didn't fall down that trap of traditional thinking, and were we wrong?
No, I would not go back and change it.
I agree.
And I think that once they started to understand that we were just doing things differently in general, that they went, oh, you know what? That falls in line. That's on brand for where they're going. Like that is absolutely in the path. And for them to make a decision like that, even though it made everybody else angry and they felt left out and they felt like they were entitled to that day, right?
Right.
Which I'm not I do understand that some people feel robbed in those situations, but we did things differently, and I hope that we could encourage others to do the same, because by the time you get done with the rush and the high of a wedding and you've gotten all buttoned up and you've gotten rid of all the decorations, you're left with what those decisions were along the way, right? And the memories. As a former photographer, I remember coming home one day and I was like, Donnell, I never want to get married. I never want to have a wedding. This is like the seventh or eighth wedding that I've been to where the bride is crying. It is the most stressful day of her life. And it was about everybody else but her and him. And I was there witnessing this, and I was trying to capture this beautiful day. And of course, with editing, of course, with perspective, right? Whatever angles or shots I'm getting, I can make it seem like it was the most amazing day. But nobody's filming when she has to get her makeup redone because she's balled it all off. Nobody's filming or taking pictures of all the selfishness that's going on backstage, right? Nobody's taking those pictures and putting those in the album. But the bride remembers that. And it was never supposed to be that way. It was supposed to be the perfect day. And that's what this bride wanted. And I don't blame her. We were programmed to want that.
I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that we are programmed to do, and it's very difficult to step outside of that programming and do anything different. Because the second piece of this, so the first piece is I think people look at our dynamic and they are eager to hear what we have to say as it pertains to their situation, because they feel like the interaction that you and I share across here seems very genuine and seems very open, and so they want to know. The other piece of that is, and I said this last week, and I want to do a better job of saying this more often. I want to normalize. I want us to normalize retiring early. I want us to make it a habit. I want it to make it a tradition. I want it to be an epidemic of educating these young people on they have a choice. They have the right. They have an opportunity, a pure opportunity to retire early. And where else will they hear it? Name one financial guru they will hear retire early from. They will hear retire early from your real estate investors, right? They will hear the Burr method, absolutely, right? They will hear retire early from investing outside of your non-traditional approach to things. But there is not one financial institution, one financial advisor that can even articulate retire early.
There's a whole other side of this emotional roller coaster for men than there is for women.
There is.
And I think you and I, when we sat down and we were really talking about this, I was just like, okay, I'll do it. I'll plan a wedding. And deep down inside, like, I did really want this to be a thing, and I wanted it to be amazing and this amazing day. I just knew that if 8 out of 10 of them are this stressful and that was not a risk I was willing to take. And I just wanted it to be about me and you. I just wanted what everybody else never had, what I saw them not have. And I thought, why not just plan for it to be just that? I don't think that people can see that unless they see enough people get it robbed from them, right?
Well,
It's
and I
not as
think
valuable.
from my perspective, the last thing I was going to do was dictate or tell you what you could or couldn't have on that day. So this was not a decision we made. Let's be honest. This is a conclusion that you came to, and I support because that's what I do. But this was absolutely a, you know what? In hindsight, what really makes more sense is A, B, and C. And I'm like, sweetheart, let's rock. Because I will go either way. I will not rob you of that princess moment. But we can also create the same moment without all of the expense.
And I did have my princess moment.
Exactly.
And I didn't even want to take my dress off. We eloped, by the way, everyone. I took a nap before our ceremony. And I woke up and then we went and got married. I wanted to be comfortable. I didn't want to be sucked in and squeezed in and feeling uncomfortable. I wanted to feel so free in that moment that there was nothing else that could distract me from what was about to happen and celebrating that moment. And I wouldn't take anything back.
And it was still a movie.
Yeah.
It was an absolute movie.
Yeah. It was a movie moment for sure.
And the piece that I want to make sure doesn't get lost here, and what else did we do? Like, what was the other side of that? The other side is that actually we were in the process of purchasing a home.
Yeah.
And purchasing that home in a fashion such that we can now leverage it. Leverage it to do what? To pay ourselves first. So that we could build our what? Our legacy, our WTF moment. Put ourselves in a position such that, again, we didn't fall down that same trap. That trap of traditional thinking. And were we wrong?
No,